moved to Lynbrook, Long Island when I was 5, and my parents put me in the Valley Stream Soccer Club that had just started allowing girls. So I think I was the first year of that, and I always loved playing soccer, and I started playing basketball and softball when I was like 8, and played it all through high school, and when I got here I just didn't see any reason why I just don't keep playing all three, so I did. It was between Binghamton and Albany. My choices were, here's the SUNY application, fill out 4, and Binghamton was the best. And I went to see Binghamton, I went to see Albany. Binghamton had trees and Albany didn't. And I chose Binghamton for the trees. I'd love to say it was for something else, but it was for the trees. No one really came to the women's games. Your friends would come and a few other people, but women's sports were played in the East Gym. And in the freezing cold and rain and everything else, that seemed awfully far for people to go. Back then, the East Gym had nothing in it. So to go down to the East Gym seemed like a chore for most people. I never took a class after noon because I would have games and away games, and again, no one was going to understand when you miss class. So I took all my classes before noon. And it just seemed like a normal thing to do for me. I'd always done it in high school, and practice was always around the same time it was in high school. So I never really thought about it. And as long as you plan your time, and I did a lot of work on buses and vans, it's fine. Number one is I gained lifelong friends, great friends. I gained the ability to juggle a bunch of things at the same time, which is very helpful for life. I gained self-confidence, I gained fitness, I guess. I always just loved being part of a team. Oh, well, now it's a normal thing for girls to play sports. Back when I played sports, I was a tomboy. And everyone called me a tomboy, and I said, yes, I am. I'm a tomboy. What can I tell you? And it wasn't as respected as it is now. Now it's a normal thing, and it's considered a good thing for girls to play sports. And back then it was like, oh, you're playing sports. Don't you want to do something else maybe? And I never wanted to do anything else. I always thought, no, I don't want to join a sorority. No offense to sororities. But I had my own. And my own sorority was my team and my teammates. And we were, the equivalent of our sorority sisters. And none of us had a desire to do anything else. The other biggest influence here was my soccer coach, Christos Dimitriou. Christos I was a goalie, so we'd have 2 hours of practice, and then Christos would say, okay, now our practice begins. And it was just me and Christos for about an hour, and him making me do everything I hated to do. So I was better diving right than left, so he made me dive left for an hour straight, diving and doing it wrong and doing it wrong and doing it wrong until I got it right. And what that showed me, he made me such a better player, and he was also and is also the nicest man I've ever met. So while he was hard on me, he made me such a better goalkeeper that after college I got to play on semi-pro teams, and I'm only 5'5", and that's really short for a goalie, but he just made me better. I had no idea how long women's sports had been around. I knew that it was toward the early years, but I didn't realize it was 1969. And just to be included with the women that I read about and have always heard of is a great honor for me. To be part of Binghamton sports at all was a great honor for me. The fact that I was allowed to play 3 sports, even when I really wasn't particularly good at basketball, but I was allowed to sit on the bench for 3 years until I started, but it was such a great experience for me, and I realized that I don't know what my experience at Binghamton would have been like without sports.